you're back. Oh my goodness. That is just fantastic. Yes, please make yourself comfortable. I'm sorry if it's a little loud in here today. It's quite busy. Yeah, we're normally busy after some holidays. So I'm sure you'll meet an assortment of interesting people. Please sit down, make yourself at home. I'm so glad you came back. So, tell me, how did your second full moon transformation go? I mean, we just saw each other last month, and yeah, I just need to check up to see how it's going for your second Wait, what do you mean? It's been more than a month. Oh, I did it again, didn't I? Sorry about that. Time is a little tricky for me. This isn't the first time I've done it. Please don't tell my supervisor. I really need this job. Wow. Yeah, see, the thing is, it's not exactly my fault because human time is it just runs weird for me. Like, I don't know, it just flashes in a blink of an eye or it moves really slow. So honestly, to me, I didn't even think it felt like a full month, and then you're telling me it's been months. So yes, no, please don't tell my supervisor. Yeah, no, the last time I did this, I got in quite a lot of trouble because, you know, you're supposed to be monitoring the new members, but like, I think you're doing fine. Are you doing fine? Do you think you're doing fine? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's great. But, yeah, no, thank you for coming back. I got your handy dandy little checkbook. It's got a cool sun on it. It's just worded, you know, because once we put your information in here, we want to make sure that nobody can get in. But I've definitely missed you. You're my favorite client. Let me just tell you that right now. But, yes, so let's see. So you got quite a few transformations since the last time that we saw each other. Which is great, you know, you're getting a hang of it. I mean, are you getting a hang of it? Are you doing okay? I mean, you're looking fine. I'm sure you have a lot more questions. I'm gonna go over some of the basic information here. What did I do with my pen? Always forgetting everything. Oh my goodness. You think I wasn't prepared for work today? I'm always prepared. Let's go over some of your basic questions again. So, do you remember what your name is? Awesome. Do you mind relaying it to me? I definitely made sure I wrote that down last time, but just to make sure. Right. No, amnesia. Oh. Let me get a new pen. Oh, what? Oh, you like my shirt, thank you. It says the only man for me is Mothman. We tried dating. He's very elusive, so it didn't work out, but he still holds over my heart. What can you do? I mean, once you meet that kind of man, how can you truly move on to anything else? Okay, got a working pen now. We got your name, and how often do you eat raw meats? Or excuse me, how often do you eat meats? And now that you've gone through a couple transformations, how many times do you opt for raw instead? Oh, quite a few more than last time. Seems like you are developing an appetite for the raw meats. Okay, so you're eating a little bit more raw meats than usual. How is your urge to rip out people's throats? See, normally when you go through a day-to-day conversation and you bump into somebody who just really annoys you, you have that urge to rip out their throat. But since you're a werewolf, that urge is just more heightened, and your ability to suppress that urge has decreased. So, how many times have you found yourself really having to hold back? Oh, holidays. Yes. A meal with your aunt. And what did she say? Oh dear. Well, I don't blame you at all. I would have a hard time holding back in that scenario as well. Okay. And is your neighbor's Shih Tzu still alive? Look at you. You haven't even killed a small dog yet. That's always great because everyone loves small dogs, and honestly, you don't want to be a villain of that story. Okay. Great. I could do another depiction of how I think you look as a werewolf today, but honestly, we have a really good picture from last time, so I'll just hold back off on showing my artistic skills for now. We have a lot to go over since somehow our times got messed up and we didn't get all of the lessons in that we were supposed to for your sessions. So we have a lot to go over today. I'm sure you have a lot of questions and a lot of things that you want to have addressed. I'm just gonna set this over here. And before we truly dive in, let me just get a good look at you. Let me just peer right into your eyes, right into your soul. Honestly, let me see what I can just feel. This is making you uncomfortable. Direct eye contact. Some werewolves find that they are not able to do direct eye contact with people because they take it as a threat. So are you feeling threatened? Okay. But, let's see. Really good. I mean, if I wasn't dating Mothman on the side of me. Sorry, this is a professional environment. But, your eyes look good. A little bloodshot from the other night. It looks like your hair has gotten a little bit coarser, and everything else looks very nice. Can I see your werewolf scratch? Okay, let me see. Okay, so that is healing. I think you are gonna get a scar though, but honestly, I wouldn't worry about it. It looks good. Okay, so let's see. What did you opt to do this time? Your last few transformations? Did you do the binding? Did you, obviously I guess you didn't get in touch with us to do any free range things. My bad. We can always give that as an option here at our some of our locations we have nearby. Or so binding, locking yourself up. What did you end up doing once you ran around downtown? Definitely will not get in trouble for that, as your supervisor. Just the one time, right, though? After that, you got it under control. Oh, you tried the binding method, but you did not do it correctly, so you found yourself escaping. See, one thing that I have heard from other werewolves is that if you get, like, a nice, juicy rump, you put it in the same room as you, that really distracts your wolf once you transform, because it'll be so transfixed on that juicy rump just hanging around that it'll be trying to get out of a tree. You'll find yourself just circling the tree the whole night trying to get that rump. So honestly, a nice roast would really do the trick, but I think a better binding method is the deal. That's what would work out the best, I would think, to be safer. So, we'll just have to try something else. Yes, it really sucks to be sent home with homework, but honestly, when you're a new supernatural creature, there's just so many questions, we just find it easier to send you home with your own book to kind of read through. Now, Speaking of supernatural creatures, as you know, this organization helps with all different kinds, to stay under the radar, to make sure that everyone is safe and comfortable in this thriving world of technology where honestly anyone can catch anything on camera as proof. But on the other hand, what really helps us with the growing technology is, yes, anyone can catch anything on camera, but with how well movies and things have adapted, no one believes anything anyways, because they're just like, that's just CGI. Or is it? We do have some people in our organization that works with making sure that anything passed onto the internet either gets deleted or is just totally debunked. So on that hand, you will be safe. But since you are a supernatural creature, here's the thing. Being a werewolf it has its own difficulties as well, but you are essentially given this sight. Yes, it's capital letters. When something's in capital letters, you know it's very important. But the sight, S-I-G-H-T, oh my goodness, I can't even spell. That's why I have to have this job. But, yeah, it opens your eyes to the entire supernatural world out there. So you might come across more werewolves, you have a heightened smell, and senses in general, so you'll be picking up on things. For instance, this book goes over the uncomfortable situation of whenever ghosts start appearing to you. Tell me, have you seen any ghosts recently? A few, interesting. So on page 71, we go over a note on encounters, a note on encounters with the undead. So as you see, you might start seeing ghosts, and that's just because they kind of show themselves to you, because they're like, oh, thank goodness, someone who can finally see me. And they go for the new ones because they're like, all the old supernatural creatures are always like bored that they see ghosts, but they're like, oh, a new person, maybe they can help me find my long lost granddaughter or chase people out of my house. I would not make any deals with ghosts. They're really rather boring, honestly. As you can see, after the first few encounters, we settle down in there. We are trying to keep our sitting room a safe place. Sorry about the growling. See, this werewolf is just honestly getting really bored. So it starts to kind of grow on you, and you're like, oh, a bloodied corpse is just staring at me. Just a regular Tuesday now, I guess. So ghosts can't really do anything to you. They may look scary, they may try to seduce you into helping them with their problems, but ghosts just have a lot of problems. We try to address them here, but honestly that's a whole nother department, so it's not really something I need to deal with. So another thing you might realize is vampires, right? Are they supposed to be your mortal enemies? Not really. I mean, you guys don't normally get along, but honestly, I don't think vampires get along with anybody. If you ask me, they're a little too hoity-toity. They think they're so great because they're immortal, but you know what? There's a lot of immortal supernaturals out there, and they don't have to drink gross human blood in order to be so, are they really winning? Are you immortal? In the sense that you are going to be growing at a slower pace and aging at a slower pace, you will live longer than usual. So try to explain that to your loved ones when it's your 70th birthday and you look like you're 45. Just tell them you won the genetic lottery. But you will be aging slower, but you won't be immortal in the sense of the Fae and vampires and things in that sense. Things that are just born of the universe, like dryads and, genies and all that stuff. They're also immortal, but, you know what? I wouldn't worry about it because essentially you'd be immortal. Sort of, I mean, but, who wants to live forever? I'm sure that gets really boring. I mean, this guy just lives in a freaking bottle all his life, so is he really living it up? So I wouldn't worry about any of that. But, yes, so you will meet a lot of different supernatural creatures. I'm sure today you notice that our, little waiting room is a little busy, so you probably ran into a few. And I've heard that werewolves don't really get along with each other, but you never know. I mean, I wouldn't say no to striking up a conversation. But our organization really stresses that you don't really settle in large groups of supernatural creatures, only because it's difficult to not stick out when you're in large groups. I myself just don't really find anybody worth hanging out with. I mean, a few centuries ago, I was hanging out with a banshee, and she was super sweet, but, it just got kind of annoying, because we'd be out in public, and she'd start screaming bloody murder when she saw someone who she assumed was about to die, and, I would be like, "We're not in the Irish countryside, lass, you can't just start screaming whenever you want," but she said that she had to because it was in her nature, and it was her duty and job, but honestly, like, times have changed. You can't just start screaming at somebody because they're going to die, like, that gets a little awkward. So I just don't go into public with her anymore. I mean, was it her supernatural nature, knowing a premonition that he was about to die, or did he die because she scared him into traffic with her screaming? You tell me. It's very, interesting. But yeah, so, other than that, I just sort of fly solo after that, little experience. But I'm sure you'll be able to find somebody. Yeah, and of course, like I said, I'm always here for you when you can contact me. And, I'm supposed to be here to talk if you ever feel lonely or like you're not fitting in the supernatural community, or you're not fitting in the human community. I mean, I'm not sure if I can give you very good tips on that, but we have a few things that we recommend, so don't forget to reach out. Speaking of fitting in, one of the most important things is to adapt back into the human society, because you don't want to draw attention to, like I said, the internet, the Hern, which is... It's an organization that's gone for centuries, they've slayed dragons, they've burned witches, they're going after you still. It's like, come on, get a life. It's really annoying. But there they go. They will try to hunt after you. So it's really important to blend in. If you need something to kind of switch up, like your eyes are starting to do their little werewolf thing, then I recommend something very simple. It's a nice disguise that we have developed here just for problems like that. Bam. Who am I? I'm basically incognito. It's amazing. I mean, yeah, it's impressive. You can take these home. You can take these home with you just as a free treat. And you can use them anytime you need to just go undercover. You're welcome, truly. I mean, we spare no expenses here, so you're welcome. Oh, the little detail that I sort of passed over, the Hern. Oh, you mean that giant organization that hunts down supernatural creatures? I guess I could get into more detail for them, if you insist. Yes, they will try to kill you. But I'm sure you'll be fine. We need to go over some things that you are allergic to. Peanuts. Actually, you are not allergic to peanuts anymore. That is right. When you have transformed into a werewolf, all of your human allergies, gone. So get you a big scoop of peanut butter and you just eat it. Yeah, go to town. But in replacement of the allergies and asthma and any problems with anything that is gone now that you are no longer fully human, in replace you are quite vulnerable to things. What can kill you is a very good question. Now, as you're when you are a human, you're of course more vulnerable to everyday things that could casually kill you. So watch out. You're not invulnerable. But when you are a werewolf on the full moon, there are some things that could be used to kill you. Because I mean, I don't want to scare you away, but we really need to address this. So there are quite a few things that could potentially cause you harm, so you need to be on the lookout for that. One of the most well-known is silver. Now, please do not freak out when I bring this up. This is a specially made silver dagger because you never know. Yeah, it's... Sorry, I don't mean to freak you out. This is silver. It is, been used quite popularly to kill lycanthropes. Just because that seems like that's what kills you. That is also another thing that gives you away. When you are a human, if you are touched by silver, it will burn your flesh, and that will give you away, and they will be able to tell that you are a werewolf. So just be careful at those fancy dinner parties when people bring out the special silverware. I think it'd be hard to explain to your aunt why your hand is burning once you touch the glass. Once you ask for the salad fork, it may in fact burn your flesh. So just be on the lookout for that. We just want to be very careful from now on. Another thing, of course, is beheading. They could behead you. Normally, like, you can kill anything by beheading it, so that's not news. Also, wolfsbane is a particular plant that is quite, it really, let's see, it really, like, draws out your werewolf features. The smell, the taste, and everything was poison to you. Here's what it looks like. Just so you get a good visual and you avoid those. If you have a significant other, make sure that they don't bring you this plant as a token of their love, because they will in fact end up poisoning you accidentally. This is the wolfsbane. As you can see, it has purple, delicately beautiful purple blue petals. A long stalk. So just be on the lookout for this, and if anyone tries to fool you by trying to find out you're a werewolf, they will leave these around as a way of warding you off. So there's just some fun new things that you can't touch or be around, otherwise it might kill you. I'm glad you could come to this lesson, honestly. I was supposed to give it to you probably the first lesson, but, you know, we just ran out of time, so what could you do? How are you doing with, like, your job and everything? Oh, good, you can still keep it. Yeah, just make sure you cancel any events leading up to the full moon, because you already start going through changes before the full moon, like your abilities and your strength and your irritability change, just like if you're PMSing. Except more dangerous. This organization is very good at helping people through any of those types of problems. However, they really draw the line at certain things. Like, for instance, I have this job. I don't do very well I try to adapt to the human world, but there's just certain things that I can't quite get right. Our company tries not to put a damper on your supernatural abilities, but there are some big no-nos on the fact that things that you used to be able to get away from back in centuries ago, you can't really do now. It's like, for instance, You get one person stuck in a mushroom circle, like dancing for hours and days, and suddenly you're like a terrible person. So, you can't do things that you used to do in the old days, let me tell you. And we also provide like meeting rooms and counseling for groups so you can get to know other people and just share something you have in common. Yeah. Do you have any questions? Okay. You're pretty sure you got everything kind of good. Well, hopefully I won't miss too many sessions in the future. Thanks again for not telling my supervisor about that. I really need this position. Are you having any nightmares? That's also another thing that we address in the book is nightmares. So, let's see. Because things just get a lot more vivid for you, including nightmares. You can practice lucid dreaming so that you can change up your dreams. You can listen to more words of affirmation as you fall asleep. I recommend ASMR videos. They're very helpful if you have a hard time falling asleep. Oh, what are ASMR videos? Oh, give it a good Google. Yes, so just make sure you're getting enough sleep because honestly, your health is very important. Because if you're too tired, then that really causes stress to the rest of your system. Like, your whole body goes through a huge change every month, and you need to be able to get the rest that you need. So, I would recommend that. Maybe some green teas. Oh, I know this very amazing witch, and she just makes the best teas, the best teas. So you might have a difficulty sleeping. Did I ask this before? Are you a vegan? Well, not anymore. So, here's your book back. And just make sure you get that a good read for after today's session. And I hope that you get some sleep tonight and really get some, do some self-love exercises, like let yourself know, I am the best werewolf around. I am the most amazing werewolf in the entire world. Like, stuff like that, just to kind of get it flowing. Oh, before I forget, this is the key to our little safe house. If you would like to use this month to really lock yourself and be very secure, I can hand you the key, but you have to make an appointment because we have a lot of other werewolves that have liked to use these rooms, so we're kind of trying to expand. So if you want to feel more safe this month when you transform, then you can go ahead and use this. Yes, it's a very heavy-duty room, so I'm sure you'll find it to your liking. You can bind yourself up really good and just feel very safe. We might let loose a few, like I said, roasts in there for you. Give you something to do. But here you go. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. I will most likely be available to answer any questions that you might have. And I am looking forward to our next session, so please get some sleep and be the best werewolf